Hello, my name is John Angelo from New England Prepper Society, and today we're going to be talking about shotguns for SHTF. Before we get into shotguns for SHTF, we're going to have a word from our sponsor.
If you want to protect yourself, get a double barrel shotgun, have the shells, a 12 gauge shotgun, and I promise you, as I told my wife, we live in an area that's wooded and somewhat secluded. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house. I promise you, who's ever coming in is not going to, you don't need an AR-15. It's harder to aim, it's harder to use, and in fact, you don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself. Buy a shotgun.
Birdshot, buckshot, slug. The age-old argument on what ammunition type for your shotgun is best in a home defense scenario. All of you thought about it. All of you have run different shotgun shells in your shotgun, or maybe you don't even know the difference between the three. I'll clear that up for you. But first, I want to elaborate that I think that a shotgun is the prime candidate for a home defense scenario. And I say that more than an AR-15, I say that more than a pistol, and I say that more than a PCC, pistol caliber carbine. Shotgun outperforms all of these different types of platforms. Stay tuned. Before I move on to talk about why I believe shotguns are the best type of weapon for home defense, I first want to say that this is something that I only apply to myself. I do not apply it to you. I do not think that a shotgun is for every application or every home. I do understand that there are various different degrees of change and reasons why you cannot have a shotgun or why you should not use a shotgun. And so I do not say that this is solid for everyone, but I will say that I think it's best for me. Okay, so before we move on to that, I do want to go over the basics of shotgun because a lot of people don't understand the basics of it. Okay, so with a shotgun, there are various gauges. There are the most common gauges I will give you: 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 16 gauge, 20 gauge, 28 gauge. Those are the most common gauges. The smaller the gauge number, the larger the shotgun bore. So if I have a 12 gauge, and I do, it is a very large bore. If I said I had a 28 gauge, the bore is about that big, probably smaller than that, right? And so the smaller the number, the larger the projectile coming out of the bore. Then there are pump shotguns, then there are semi-auto shotguns. There are shotguns in different platforms: tube-fed shotguns, magazine-fed shotguns. I think those are the basics of shotguns. Now, shotguns are very versatile, all types of sizes, colors, you can customize them, but for the most part, that is the basics, the raw basics of a shotgun. There are many ways to hold them, to shoot them, to yield them, to store them. Keep that in mind as I go on. Let's get into the versatility of shotguns. We talked about ammo choice, and I want to kind of make that clear when it comes to a shotgun. The 3 major ammo choices for the shotgun, and there's a lot, are birdshot, buckshot, slug. What I tend to use in a home defense scenario is going to be birdshot. Why? Because I live in an apartment building, and if someone comes through that door, there's about 100 small little pellets that's going to penetrate that person and not go through walls. My main objective here is to make sure I do not shoot my neighbors, or I do not hit anyone in my home that I do not want to hit. At close range, birdshot is extremely deadly. If you don't believe me, go to Paul Harrell's channel, type it in. It's all over YouTube. That thing is going through a person. I'm sorry, it's going through. and it'll stop right at the door. It's not going through the walls. It's going to hit what it needs to hit, and it's going to stop that intended target and nothing else. This is why I believe that the shotgun is better than the pistol caliber carbine, 9mm in chamber, or 5.56. Those things fly through sheetrock. And so in my scenario, in my home, birdshot will be best. Birdshot has been tested on drywall. It does not penetrate. And so it is something that you should look into. But first I will show you pictures of what birdshot is. And you will look at it. And you will see that it's designed or intended to hunt birds. The second picture I want to show you is a slug. Now, a rifled slug is good for long distance or large animals. Versatility. You can both. Shoot at long distance, you got somebody outside, hopefully you're not taking shots that far. But in a SHTF scenario, shit hits the fan. There's no cops. There's no rule of law. People are acting crazy. You're probably taking 100-yard shots. Hopefully in self-defense. Hopefully it's not for something petty. Right? Anyways, you got a rifled slug. I'll show you that photo. It's going out. It's reaching out. It's touching things. Big fat bullet or slug. Right? And of course you can hunt large animals. So that's something to consider. With the birdshot in an apartment building for home defense, it's on rounds on target, 100 pellets, hitting a person, bringing them down, not going through the sheetrock. You got a slug taking down big game, taking down long distance targets, and is a big fat meaty MFer. I'm telling you, it's ugly. Then you got buckshot. You got about 4 to 6 pellets, big nice. The reason why they call it buckshot is because people use them to hunt buck at shorter range distances. And so it takes down a buck. It'll take down one of them big bucks. It'll definitely take down an intruder. And they're nasty. I personally have birdshot in my shotgun, followed by buckshot, followed by slugs. And I keep it, I got about a 9 round tube in mine. I kind of upgraded it. It's a semi-automatic shotgun, but I run my shotgun like that. And I think my shotgun is supreme because of the versatility of the rounds. And I'm not going through walls when I use my shotgun. Very important to me. So I talked about why I believe a shotgun is good for like home defense, but let's get into shit hit the fan, right? And so that application for SHTF, you mostly want to use it for hunting. And I think this is where the shotgun wins, because you can get anything from fowl, duck, turkey loads, you can get moose loads, you can get deer loads, you can shoot just about anything crawling or walking without damaging the meat. Now of course you can do the same. Now let's reverse that. Let's get into some logic here. You can shoot any animal with any bullet caliber, but you will damage the meat. What you want to do is preserve the meat. You want to hit the vital organs. And so with a smaller, like a buckshot or a birdshot, specifically birdshot, if you're using birdshot on birds, you're going to be fine. Use a turkey load on a turkey, the big 20, 30 pound turkeys, you're going to be fine. You're not going to use a slug on that. So I think the hunting application of a shotgun is second to none. You can make shotgun shells. They're super safe. They store for a long time. And so when it comes to SHTF, a shotgun is a tool that you must. I'm not saying that you should. I'm strongly suggesting that you must have a shotgun in your loadout. Yes, the shells are harder to store, but they last long. Yes, I get it. You don't want to compress the shells. You can damage the coating and all of that. But they do last. And so I know people who shot 40, 50, 6-year-old shells and they work just fine. Right? You go out in the field with a couple of shells in your pocket, come back with some meat. You feed your family. Good in community hunting. Knock birds right out the sky. Any type of bird. Everything's food and SHTF. Everything. So consider it. Consider the shotgun for SHTF. I think it's a wonderful tool. I hope in our 10-minute discussion that I express a little of my reasoning behind why I think shotguns are good for SHTF and home defense. I just want to make some announcements. I did recently have a newborn baby last week Tuesday. My life has been a little bit busy. That's why I haven't been putting these videos out like that. But I'm back full-fledged. Got my YouTube going again. I'll be releasing these videos, and I have more in store for y'all. Hopefully we can chat in the comments. So please comment, like, subscribe. Let's get this thing going, and let's start this New England prepper community. Hopefully I can reach people from all over the country. We can sit chat. We can go shooting. I got a guy that I just met on YouTube earlier today. He's from Tennessee. Great guy. Invited me to come by and shoot. I love stuff like that, man. So hopefully at some point this can become a community of like-minded believers. God bless, and see y'all next time.